We're in. We're live. Awesome.
We're live. You keep saying this. We're live.
We're live. We're not live.
We're
We're coming to you probably very delayed because we always struggle to find Wi-Fi, and we're shattered more than being live. We're just about live.
Every day we say it can't get any worse, and every day it has. So today we're not going to say that.
No, we're not going to say that. It can definitely get worse. A lot of things could have gone worse today. We went really badly.
We could have crashed.
We could have got a puncture at the top of the hill.
Could have got a puncture.
No, the
I
bottom
wouldn't
of the hill.
have been able to fix it.
No.
We should explain. Basically, we'll come to this later. But the top of the hill, there was snow. We've been climbing for about 9 miles, freezing cold, and I went
down
to change gears, and I physically couldn't. I had to reach across my other hand and pull it across.
Yeah.
So a puncture would have been a disaster.
Yeah. No, it was.
It was tough. But anyway,
you didn't know if you were breaking or not, but we're
yeah.
going to come to that.
Back to the start of the day, which started in...
Yeah, so we left you at David French's house, having just finished a lovely potato salad.
Breakfast. Oh, last
chicken.
night, yeah.
Yeah, and James has recovered from yesterday. David very kindly helped mend the puncture. We found the shard of glass, which was causing James so much grief.
A bit of wire, tiny bit of wire, about... Was it 8, 10 millimetres? Absolutely tiny. Which you found by looking at the inner tube first to work out where the puncture was, and then going through it with a torch
and the inner tube didn't deflate very. It was a really slow puncture. You had to kind of go around, and you use your, kind of sound weird, but you kind of like go around with your lips because apparently they're like most sensitive to air. And yeah, I got all that all fixed up, and I got to bed for about 12. You know, woken up at 6:30, and good old David came through and made sure we were awake and out, and he was like, "Do you want to sleep for 3 more hours?" And we were like, "Yes." But we didn't. We
had an awesome breakfast of
it's brilliant.
Honey. It was honey yogurt and
Greek yogurt,
granola.
It's so good. It's so. I've never actually had that before.
No,
the yogurt and granola. But thoroughly recommend it. Just get a big tub of yogurt and a load of granola.
And it set you up well for the day as well.
Yeah,
well, I mean,
well.
you can't really tell you just eat enormous amounts.
Yeah. We calculated today, right? I got through 6 bars in the morning. Didn't get through a lot in the afternoon because I probably couldn't have undone the wrap and my hands were so numb. But again, we'll get onto that. But 6 bars, that's a good couple of thousand calories.
About 2,000 calories.
Calories, yeah. Bearing in mind these are all 70 grams and they're all got 10 grams of protein in them. So that's like 70 grams of protein.
It's a lot of protein, a lot of calories, basically.
Yeah, and
that's before you count breakfast, lunch, supper.
Oh my gosh, supper today was amazing. But yeah,
back to the start of the day. So we left at about 8:30, I think it was, and then we headed straight to Walmart because Sam had managed to eat all of his bars.
Yeah,
I've still got about 10 left. Went into Walmart,
literally managed to find double the rate.
So many Cliff Bars.
Oh my gosh, it was amazing. Yeah, I found basically they were selling these 6-packet boxes for $1.50 of Cliff Bars, and we found a packet of 12 bars for $6, which we thought was amazing. But I ended up getting 17.
It's Sam's new favourite shop.
$4.50. It's grocery outlet, bargain market. It's replaced you. So good. And so I got 17 Cliff Bars for like $4.
Stuff them everywhere in your not so waterproof
panniers,
which again we'll get on
disaster.
To. Epic cycled. Got a lot to answer for. And then we headed out at about 9. I think we set off. Yeah. And actually the morning was okay. There were a few showers, nothing major. Yeah, a few hills, nothing major.
Got on the I-90. It was very, very kind of up and down. You always get up and downs, like even just at the exit points. Yeah. The I-90 kind of comes up a bit, and it's but you know you can get through it. It's all right. Yeah. Knees were hurting a bit at the start, but once you warmed up, it was all right. We stopped.
If you say so.
Yeah. No, actually, yeah. James was definitely a lot worse pain, so I can't speak for him.
It's good. They've got a brace on and some heat patches, which are good.
And we stopped about 30 miles in. Having seen as well, like a load of dead skunks, they were everywhere today.
We figured out, I'm pretty sure, we'll have to check this, but I think skunks must be nocturnal. Because we saw probably 8 dead skunks on the road, and we've yet to see a live skunk. Yeah. So my theory is they come out at night and...
What? Yeah. I wasn't sure if I saw one or not. I saw
you might have seen one, yeah.
Black
and also,
across on the
speaking about, tragically as it is, deaths on the road, It's staggering.
So many.
The number in America they mark with a cross
As you
off
might
the side
see
of a highway.
in our Instagram post, the
Yeah.
Montana thing had a sign up saying white
Someone had
crosses
died
mark
there.
fatalities.
And they are everywhere. I mean,
Yeah.
every 500-600 meters.
Yeah,
It's awful.
easily. So, and some days you get like 3 crosses on, and it's
big crash, which is daunting
yeah.
when we're cycling along on the shoulder. But
Yeah, for sure. Luckily, the shoulder's quite wide. It was
Most
really
wide.
wide until we hit Highway 12. But
Yeah.
that was right at the end of the day.
on the
so,
interstates, they're quite good.
yeah.
We should explain. We haven't really said Interstate 90 is basically a road that goes from Seattle almost all the way to DC. It just cuts through all of the states, which is great. It's flat, fairly well maintained.
Yeah. I think it ends up in New York, but it goes. It
Okay.
reaches Chicago, and then we come
And that's
down
when
to
we're coming off,
DC.
yeah.
And yeah,
But you
carried
wanted to
along.
mention your motorbike gangs, didn't you?
Yes, we were attacked viciously by motorbike gangs. There were 30 of them, but we fought them off. Carried on. No, there
I'm
were,
waiting for you to tell the truth here.
yeah. There were. It was really cool. I didn't. I should have got. I tried to get on the GoPro, but they'd all already gone. And then basically, a couple of motorbikes came through, and we're like, "Oh, that's cool," because they're big kind of Harley Davidson type motorbikes. And then like a few more came, and a few more, and it ended up being like this huge crowd of like 30 motorbikes. At least all in this like one big group, taking up all the double lanes.
But no dramas. Sam and his mother have read a book
Yes.
about someone who did a tour, and apparently there are issues with motorbikes riding them off the road. But
yeah.
from our experience, you're all lovely
Yeah.
people. Please keep it up.
Yeah, but we've experienced everything so far in that book. That book is by Simon Gilliband, a really cool guy raising money for Burundi in this particular cycle, doing it a slightly different route to us, but dog attacks, motorbikers weren't attacked by it, but still, like awful weather, punches, all the rest of it. Everything that it had in the blurb of this book has literally happened in the
In a
first
week.
Yeah, first week of
Plus
our
stuff.
trip. Yeah,
It's been tough.
yeah, and
But so the morning was all right up to
Yeah.
30 mile point, and then we rode 40 miles on to lunch, and basically 10 miles out of lunch, we went through somewhere called Drummond, and we said it was starting to rain for the first time. We said, should we stop here? There's lots going on, or should we power through to Garrison? we
Yeah.
said, which is where we're getting lunch. We decided to go to Garrison, which meant first of all we got soaked, and then when we arrived 75 miles later from setting off in Garrison, really hungry ahead of a big climb, as you'll have seen on our Instagram, potentially nothing at all.
Yeah.
But there's one shop which was like the forbidden fruits, and we looked through the windows, and there were absolutely
so
everything:
good.
crisps, sweet sandwiches, drinks.
Yeah.
But it was lots, because we should say today is
It's not only Sunday but also Memorial Day.
Memorial
weekend.
Day. Yeah. So it's a big thing in America where most of the
Yeah.
shops are shut.
Really big
So
holiday
we were
celebrating
struggling.
veterans. Yeah.
And I went and asked some very nice locals if they knew anywhere that was open.
And this was also this was after we did that 75 miles in 2 stints. That was like 40 miles.
So
that we
it's
just
an
done
impressive
at
one.
once.
So really hungry.
Yeah.
And went up and asked, and a very kind lady said, there's somewhere 12 miles up the road, 20 miles up the road. Then got even kinder, and she gave us some banana bread and half a cookie.
Yeah.
And then she offered so kindly to drive back to Drummond, which is 7 miles, pick up some food and drive it back to us.
Yeah, Andrea Knight.
Andrea, you are here.
Really,
Thank
really
you.
big.
And she came back
Thank
20
you.
minutes later with 2 huge sandwiches, turkey,
2 huge
Snickers,
sandwiches
protein
each.
bar. Yeah,
Yeah,
it was a good lunch,
really good.
which we scoffed down. The issue was that we were there for an hour as opposed to half an hour.
Yeah,
So we set off after an enormous lunch.
only about about probably 4:30.
And you know, at this point, it'd probably been our best day yet, I think.
Probably, yeah. I mean,
There were no dramas, there were no punctures.
no.
The rain had been spitting down as such. Bodies were handling okay. There was no
It was
gravel.
We both had our jackets on, which weren't waterproof, but provided some heat.
But then it all
Yeah.
changed. 5
Yeah.
miles after setting off after lunch when the heavens opened.
Mm-hmm.
Sam's been saying throughout this whole trip how he wants to go through a storm. I really
I
want to cycle
haven't
through a
said
storm.
that. Not my words. I said a storm would be really, really cool, and
Okay.
it was so cool.
It wasn't cool.
It was.
Sam
awesome.
also
It
forgets
was
we're riding
absolutely
around
epic.
on flat plains with metal bikes. So when the lightning comes down,
But,
I'm
there-
alright. He's a foot taller than me, but
Yeah.
I'm worried for him.
there
Go
are
tell him about the
trees.
storm.
Yeah, no. So we were buzzing after this lunch. Really, we were cold. We were cold actually. We were shivering when we got on the bikes. So that was a bit, but we thought we'd warm up. And about 20 minutes in, just started pelting it down, absolutely pelting
Proper rain, wasn't it?
Really, like
proper, a storm.
Like, yeah, like her. Yeah, thanks for clarifying. And like really, you kind of like hurt it. Like you could feel it through your jacket. And we carried on going, and it's a steady incline. It was a steady incline for about 20 miles, then a climb, then a huge climb. We knew that we had ahead of us for 5 miles.
We knew it was a climb. We didn't quite realise it was a mountain pass.
Yeah, and we were soaking. We had absolutely soaked to the bone, and we stopped a little while in for James said Google Maps
navigation,
and to go to the loo, and then we and at this point, having just stopped for literally 5 minutes, I just shivering uncontrollably, like shaking out of my seat, and we heard thunder, and it started off at like 10 Mississippis, and then 8 Mississippis, and I was like counting out. It got down to 3 Mississippis, but at one point, and at that stage, I was a little
the lightning
bit
was
worried.
coming quite a lot, wasn't it?
It was really close. Like, you were really disorientating as well because it was so close. You just saw a blinding like flash in your face, and it was just torrential. And the cars were coming by, and we had our lights on, and the cars were just spraying up in our face as well. Really, really intense going, and we were. Yeah, it was so frustrating because it was 20 miles away, and it just didn't look in sight at all.
No. And then it got worse when we hit the hill. So you can imagine all that, probably the worst time we've had cycling so far.
Yeah.
And then chuck in.
But we were going at a pretty steady pace.
Yeah, we're doing all right, speed-wise.
Probably 13, 14 miles an hour, if not more.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Yeah.
And then the hill, which was plus 2,000 feet elevation.
Yeah.
Over, I think it was 5 miles climbing up to the top.
Yeah, probably 4. It was so steep. On the
steep
other
hill.
side, it was 8%.
6 miles.
Yeah, 8% incline for 6 miles, and this was probably the same on the other side for 4 miles.
And it took us about 45 minutes. I think 45 minutes constant climbing up a steep hill with this weather.
And for like training, we kind of cycled to and from Oxford and stuff, and there was a hill there that was probably 1.5 miles, and it was like maybe 4% elevation, and we were incline, and it was like, okay, that's tough, but we're doable. And this was something else, double the elevation, double the length.
This is what I do for fun in the summer. This is not what you do in the rain. And it was horrendous. It really was.
Fingers were numb, couldn't change gear.
Yeah.
Thank goodness I was on the lowest gear.
Snow at the top.
Yeah, literally that's how cold it was. Even with the rain sheeting down, there was snow at the top.
And at this point, it becomes as much a mind game as a physical feat as well. And it's tough. Low gear just keeps spinning.
Yeah.
But we eventually made it.
Made it to the top.
Where there was snow.
It was an awesome view as well. Like, you could just about make out Helena through the clouds at the very bottom, but all we wanted to do was get to our place, stay
6.5 miles at this point.
Yeah.
6 miles down the hill. 0.5 off.
Yeah.
And it's a shame, as I was saying, it was probably the worst moment of my cycling career, in the fact it was so horribly cold, bitterly cold. But equally it had the potential to be the best, because that decline, from a cycling perspective, views were amazing, but the roads were so wide, the corners were so accessible, and the speeds you could get were incredible. And so it's such a shame we're here when it's raining and cold instead of in the summer, because that could have been something else.
And you couldn't go fast either, because when we were going up, the rain was literally coming in waves, like down the hill, and you were really scared you'd just like slip and fall and go completely the other way. And so going down the hill, of course, like your fingers were numb. You didn't know whether you were braking or not, really, because you couldn't feel your fingers, and you had to purely judge it on whether you could, on your speed, on whether you could see how fast you were going. But you couldn't see how fast you were going because the rain was so intense.
And there were rivers coming across the road.
Yeah, and it felt like needles in your face. This rain,
horrible, really horrible.
I didn't have my glasses on because the lenses were too dark, so I really couldn't see anything. But then I had to like squint. James did have his glasses on, which I'm sure visibility wasn't much better.
And then we made it was a 6 miles decline, which should have been fun. 6 miles downhill, that's amazing, but no, it was horrendous. And then we turned off onto this road. Yeah. At which point it's 0.5 miles away, and then fairly quickly, shaking uncontrollably. Yeah. Made it here.
As you said, literally off the saddle. We were trying to hold that position, but just like couldn't stop from shivering. But we got here, and Jeffrey and Vicky welcomed us, and
I mean, it was perfect. It was
perfect welcome.
We got here, get your clothes off, get in the shower straight away. And I don't know about you, I was stood in a boiling hot shower, as hot as it got, for 10 minutes, shivering uncontrollably. Yeah. Pretty sure I got a bit of frostbite on my foot as well.
Yeah. Because your feet hurt in the shower, like really hurt, like it stings, and like stings horribly, sting and itching.
And then we were rushed into warm clothes, which aren't our clothes. So thank you very much again.
Yeah, because my waterproof bags are not waterproof. Yeah. It's so like I spent 70 quid on these bags, and like also that's not to mention the panty rack, which has probably brought the total up to about 100, and they're not even waterproof. And the
biggest issue we found is our passports are now sodden. Yeah. All the visa ink is skewered, so they're drying downstairs. Basically, all of Sam's kit, my riding kit from today, and the passports are by the heat fan downstairs drying out.
Yeah. Which is
so we'll see how that is tomorrow.
Yeah, we're gonna have to line it with bin liners to just try and save some of the integrity of my kit. But yeah, no, like rushed inside, bikes in the garage, absolutely like there's just the meal hit the spot. Chicken curry with rice. It was so
followed by
lovely.
Fruit and ice cream with
local
hot chocolates, water, beer.
Yeah, it was fantastic, and a
gorgeous
really nice
garden, chilled.
Yeah, they had hummingbirds in their garden, which was like.
And then what was that bluebird called? Can you remember? A type of rock in Iraq. That's all I can remember.
No idea.
Beautiful, beautiful birds.
Yeah.
I mean, also really scary. We were told after we come over this pass where we couldn't see anything. Oh, did you see any wolves? Did you see any grizzly bears? And we were thinking, oh my god, if we'd known that before. But we hadn't. Touched wood.
We might have made up the hill quicker if we knew
possibly. But apparently we've got to listen to wolves tonight as well. Because around here it's amazing. We're right in the middle of the park. Absolutely stunning. Just a shame about the weather. But yeah, we were well fed, well watered, had a nice chat, and now finally feeling warm. It's currently what, 10:30?
Like that.
Ready for bed, and then a pretty difficult day tomorrow technically because we need to waterproof ourselves, which we haven't. I need some inner tubes. We need to work out accommodation.
We're not sure where accommodation is for tomorrow. Tomorrow to Bozeman is just over 100 miles. But we're not. We said to Jenny, who's absolutely lovely, that we wouldn't go to Bozeman because we were planning on doing a long day today all the way to Livingston, which is another 25 miles on. But now, because we've got to wait for the shops to open, the bike shops, we're going to have to go. We won't probably be able to make it before sunset to Livingston, so we're going to have to find a place to stop before.
It's also going to be raining all day tomorrow. 70% chance from sunset to sundown, and beyond. Yeah, and then we can't go from Bozeman to the place after Livingston because that would be about 150 miles. 140, and that's just after the days we've had. We won't be able to, and so we're probably going to have to take that rest day towards Livingston, which is about 30 miles. It's going to be tricky. Yeah, try and find someone to stay in. And then we've also got to message everyone we're staying with, pushing it all back a day. Yeah. But I mean, warm shower so far has been absolutely incredible. I'm sure it will continue to be. So thank you so much. Yeah. Warm showers. And that's about it for tonight. Yeah. Keep you updated tomorrow. I'm sure it'll be on our Instagram stories. Yeah. But all up in the air at the moment. After a really intense day. Right, time for bed. Yeah, cool.